Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. We carry on from yesterday from the Seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is part 2 of 29 parts. And yesterday we mentioned that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's genealogy came from Ibrahim alayhi salam on the side of Ismail alayhi salam. And during that time, there were different people who were leaders of Quraysh, Makkah. And at that time, at one point, there was one leader, he was called Amr ibn Luhay. He became the chief of Makkah. So at that time, he went to Syria. Tarar business trip, Bashiyazil Makkah Sharif taki Syria. Because Makkah Sharif, Bashi zinish grow oina. So tarar only thing is, tarar fani ase, but trading kora lagta. So they had to go to Syria all the time. They used to go, and then they used to go to Yemen, Odo Yodesh. So when they went to Yemen tara prize Beshibag Zaita during the winter. In Syria they used to go during the winter, and summertime they used to go to Yemen. So this chief, Amr ibn Luhay, tan Siriyat ka dekho in tara murti fuza horen. He saw that when he went to Syria, he saw, look at these people. And the people in that time, the superpower, Asta Dunyar Maze, the most powerful people were the Persians and the Romans. So Syria Maze era Romans, Byzantine Empire. And then in Persia, they had, which is today known as Russia and China. In that area, it was the Persians. So they were the two superpowers, Annai. And in the middle, for the Arabian countries, you've got Yemen, you've got Hijaz, Saudi Arabia, like in the last, I think, 50, 60, 70 years, Saudi Arabia. But before that, it was all Hijaz. Hijaz. Allah Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula is known as Hijaz. So then when it was Hijaz at that time, the Persians, Taraibai, the Sawadnai. Amra Persia, Amra Ikano, Amra Stayasi. And then you got the Byzantine Empire. So Tarar might, obviously they've conquered their own places. But nobody dared to step into Makkah because they thought, there's no economy there. Because Tarar were desert people. So they didn't bother. Now this Ikta Allah Hukum, because Allah Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam later on, Amratuzani, he then took over the Persians. He took them down and he took the Byzantine Empire down. But obviously this is a later on story. So now what happened was, during that time, Amr ibn Luhay, he went to Syria. In Syria, they liked worshipping. They had big statues of what they respected and they worshipped. So Tain Luya, he brought a murti logyan on the way back. And Amra to Kaaba Sharif ase. Kintu Amra to Allah re bishwash kori, Ibrahim alayhi salam or dharma amra falon kori, which is Ek Allah. So he brought this statue back, and when he placed the Kaaba Sharif or hamne shamne rakhiya, niyato ilo je amra Allah re puja kori, kintu ei murti re amra puja kortam na, eta khali সম্মানের লাগি সইলা আমাকে সুমা দিলাম। তো সইয়া সুমা দিতে মূর্তি পূজা আরম্ভ হয়েছে। And this first ever Amr ibn Luhay, he brought the idol, and namo dile, so he idol and namurti namula Hubal. So manche Hubal, and manche Maya dite. That's why I suppose onto Hajar Aswad Suma doa jaiz ase. Ar kunana suma dite. Rukun Yamanit suma dite. This is the Sunnah. Allah Rasulullah Sunnatu Hajar Aswad Suma ar suma nai. Rukun Yamani khali soita isun ekdel Sunnat Allah Rasulullah ketu suma nai. And obviously, Manchester side by the Sumadira, but I still that. Bida, Farina. Oze Ibrahim alayhi salam or Maqam Ibrahim. That's the name, but I still lie. Telar. Kharasho beto khali Sumadira side by. So obviously, he has a right. Manchester Shomani Shabi Allah maforta. But we have to be careful because from Suma to slowly, people start thinking different things. And then some people are getting their Rumal Layani, they're actually rubbing the Maqam Ibrahim. It's not actually Khoi footprint and Khoi Kanamaze. They put a case around it. And then on top of that, there's a big plastic around it. Does that make sense? So this COVID after COVID, and obviously people are rubbing for different reasons. because of their lack of knowledge. So now he brings this Hubal Fuza Aramboi. They've started to worship this. And now from one, ekta theke duita theke oite 360 murti in and outside the Kaaba Sharif. It's come to this position now. So when I said yesterday, they brought the little boy Shaiba, his name is Abdul Muttalib. So when he grew up, Murtiya still Sayrubaidi, but now you got Abdul Muttalib, the next chief. Eventually he became chief. Now, so fast forwarding now, because I'm not sure now we only do like 15-20 minutes. He's now the chief, and during that time, 55 days before Allah Rasulullah Milad Zolmo. So 55 days before he was born, Abraha got on. What's Abraha got on? Abraha, he was a viceroy, he was a governor of Yemen. And he is the governor of the Abyssinian king Najashi. So what happened was, bichara jealous ho gisla. Khane because shob haziya hol hozol lagi tebo zaita Kaaba Sharifar maze tara visiting korta. Yearly, this is annually. So he's like, he knows akhane be shob. And Yemenor basho ya dehon shob Arab hobai zaira. And kita maze ekta building ase. The building ke toilo. Building no amrar baf Ibrahim alayhis salam, our forefather, and nizorat diban Ismail alayhis salam loya, and he can show money to zaga. Amra hono zai. Ita kizat building, kunu shundor building ni na to kisu bator to agi put together. So this got to him. Bichara doni. Khante he knows agan ami ikano noyata hozar muharram. So in Yemen he started to build. Obviously he's a Christian, so he built a cathedral, rufa, with gold and with silver, and he started to pearls dite, and people said that you from tolta ki ufor dekha jaitona. But that's how high he made it. So that was his intention. So when he built it, and namud laysun al-kullais, namkita al-kullais, ahoida ita ar Kaaba Sharif or da walaktanai, new house of worship. So Arab era tarai kan hunya tara gusha uti. So there was one man, obviously bicharai gusha mitai bal lagi, taina isun tan kullaiso bitre gya taini inkana maze fasha fahana unlis. This was the incident. So obviously it's not an etiquette to do that to any religion, but he did that just to show that I'm not Kaaba Sharif bicharai kizaloti horer ta ami dehai mone. So he went there and he defecated. So when he defecated there, I khobarai che Abraha gese. And bicharai got so angry that he made a promise. He said, I will not rest until ami Kaaba Sharif I destroy it. I'm not going to rest until then. So he said, which was in that time, no one ever heard of. He asked Najashi, send me the biggest army. Najashi said, I'll give you elephants. Today's equivalent is tanks. So he sent elephants. Elephant kit atti. They live in the desert. So he got an army of elephants and he marched. Because he knew, and this is Allah's plan. Allah says that he can tar feeling or hantahto, the kheufartona tarekte, or hantahok. Allah says that the Jemo bichara niyot khorsila, faroy balagi, mani roana di balagi, Oshemut Allah faroin dom shorta khunna na honna. Aw, kekkabar dorza khorsontak. This is the style of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That when I want to humiliate somebody, I want to do it properly. So he starts and he came with all his elephants, and the main elephant, the one that he was riding, he actually had a name, it was called Mahmud. So when he came all the way, and along the way, a lot of Arabs tried to stop, he destroyed them. Like, they tried to stop him, Tara, Dol Bandia, Group Bandia, they said, let's try to stop him. They saw the elephants, they couldn't. Ita, na tumar gura, but tumar ute, it's not going to do anything. So then, after that, when he got to Makkah Sharif, I joined, our fore hoin iskura item rano taki that's when maze 200 camels, and they belong to Abdul Muttalib. The camel khar Abdul Muttalib. So bichara ya to hoisun economy neigi nishen ami tamar shoftishali ami dehai. So he grabbed all the 200 camels. He said, right, amra to kisu book lakse gon amra haimu. We've got a big army, and he took them. On Abdul Muttalib, he got a bit upset because taina isuin o Kaaba Sharif bang ban niyote. So he said, I want to have a meeting with this person. So he requested it, and they said, "Tika se tanikan onro tara manchun ao." Rabasha loge tumi dekha karo shibita na. Apne apna respect karo, apne jo Makkah Sharif or chief here. That's no problem. So he sits down. There's a meeting going on. Abdul Muttalib is a very elderly, wise, respectable man. He comes in and he sits down on the floor. And he's sitting on his throne. So Taino Sintahallaya, Boshko Manush, Matit Boitasan, Amio Matit Boisai. Kizusho Mandahai. So he got up, because remember, Tan Nioto ilo Habika Kawashiri Bangta. Tan Kuno Niotna is a Manchura time a joke kita. Lara Horta. He's not here to fight with anybody. His promise was, rest for Tamna, Kali Kawashiri Bang. So he sat down on the floor. Boya Huila look one leader to another. Avne Kitasa, Avna request Hokasai. Abdul Muttalib sa Marechta request. And a ho. Dekio Hon Namar Faudrim of sign me. Abdul Muttalib said, Marechta request to Lamar Duisho Kamul to Miloya is Ogunami Firutsi. Abdul Abraha, then have to go back. He got surprised with Muslim. The most respectable thing as the Makkah was the Kaaba Sharif. Okta Bangla lagi I see Taina Marazika in Dusha Kamun, the Ogun Firut Dibalagi. Honami Odeho, Ami Matit Buisi, Shom Mandira. The Hazai on Kita Lagi to Marashum Mandira, Tumali Dusho, you're asking for the 200 camels. Ekta Matna, Kaaba Sharif or Hota. The 200 camels, Idusho Kamol or Malik Ami. Ikamol Rehapazot for it's my duty. Kaaba Sharif Victa Amarna. Kaaba Sharif or Malikaso in a zone, a tiny Tarehapazot for Bani. That was his response. So now Abraha said, Kaaba Sharif or Hepazot for Tona, I will destroy it against me. That's all he said. So it's like a threat. He's saying, look, you're threatening me. I'm going to destroy it tomorrow morning, you will see it. So he said, look, my respect for you is gone. I first tried to respect you, there's no respect. What kind of a chief are you? You don't even defend your own house. So he's got his 200 camels. He came back and he told all his people, show up tumra faros out, go up in the mountains and wait there. Wait for my order, right? Until I tell you don't come back to your house. Tamistan already he knows that he cannot delay there, it's going to be trouble. Kaaba Sharif. So he made a dua, he got a few people, Kaaba Sharif, Khafur Durya, he said, oh Allah, Afnul Kaaba, oh Rabbul Kaaba, they used to say, oh Lord of the Kaaba, this is your house, you protect it, you defend it, Ikano Amra defend Kuchu Horanai. So then, next morning, he got on the camel, ready, elephant, Mahmud, and they started to whip the elephant. Elephant Loratnai. It won't move next morning. This is a miracle of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So every time, Kaaba Sharif are opposite direction of Yemen. Which are this because Yemen's at south. So he couldn't get the camel to move, the elephant to move. So soldiers are confused again. Kintu Yemen or Dikazishuma behind elephant Zaitaraziase. So they turned it around, they said, there, Agwate, Onezaina. He just sits down. And at that time, Shagoror, all these birds that normally come from the sea, they came. They are known as the Tayran Ababil. They came in flocks. And they covered the sky and the rivers. There was that many birds, all of them were holding 3 stones, one in their beak, 2 in their claws, and they started to throw them down. And these stones were very, very hard. They were falling from high altitude. And whatever it touched, this is the description given, that it went through anything it touched. And if it touched the ground, because it penetrated the ground. You can only imagine how hard it was hitting. So any soldier it touched, Abraha's army, it was destroying all of them. So Allah, they were all dying. So when it fell down like a machine gun, all these stones, obviously the Makkah Sharifar Bashi, they've all gone to the mountains because they know it's trouble. So when it all started to fall, all of them were dying. Abraha was getting destroyed to the point where he didn't die in Makkah Sharif. Obviously they all retreated. Bashare tara try for some protect for Balagi, where his soldiers, when they tried to pick him up, Atadulle Atsutjeje, Faudulle Fausutjeje. Kolan Tukra Hori Ekabari Tanari Yamano Niatan Motis Yamano. He obviously he was in pieces by the time. Like he suffered a very terrible death. And then the surah was revealed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed Surah Fil to remind us Alam tara kayfa fa'ala rabbuka bi ashabil fil. Allah says to the Prophet ﷺ, did you not see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dealt with the people of the elephant of Bashi, how Allah dealt with them. Alam yaj'al kaydahum fi tadlil. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, did He not make their kaid mani taran je boro plan? Ita suto plan dorhani, before night. You have to make a big plan to destroy Kaabah. So can you imagine, Abraha must have planned this for, if not months, for a long time, how to destroy it. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allowed it. Plan for Rabeshwari, that's wasting your time. So Allah says, Tumar kaidahum fi tadli. Didn't I make your plan go to waste? Wa arsala alayhim. And didn't I send, and Allah sent on them, tayran ababil, birds that were in flocks. Tarmihim, they were throwing, bihijaratin min sijil, they were throwing stones of baked clay, they were very hard. فَجَعَلَهُمْ كَعَصْفٍ مَأْكُولًا. And Allah made them كَعَصْفٍ asmani, then sibanillahan zinish, ma'kul khaybar motor. Because that's how much they were shredded, like keema, finished. Because mangsho faitana khane kharita fakiya khayli khaybar motor. So that's why there was no remaining. Otherwise you would have smelled the whole Makkah Sharif gondo hollone of all these things. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. And then here, Qurayshur Shumman Barse. One asta shobor time to saisla Qurayshur bezotorta. Aro asta, like out of the people Arabian Peninsula, they all realize ar Qurayshur kita logetum khobor faitana. Addiuna tara Allah manush. That's what happened. So we'll end it there, inshallah. We'll carry on. And then 55 days later, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born. Wa akhiru da'wan alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Was salatu was salam ala rasulihil kareem. Allahumma ya